don't be giving me no bullshit. I don't talk about people's money and all that. Who should they
Yeah.
pay first, man?
CeeDee. I put probably Dak second. I'll put Zach. And then Micah got weight, man. He's still a young dog, man.
What's going on? It's Keyshawn Johnson, and welcome to All Facts, No Breaks. Joining us on today's show is safety of the Dallas Cowboys, Malik Hooker. What's up, Malik, man? You ready for Oxnard? You got your roommate set. You got your video games. You ready to get out that Texas heat?
Man, yeah, I'm definitely ready. Out there in LA, you get the nice little breeze from the water and everything. I mean, I ain't really looking forward to having to go back and forth as far as the traveling part of it, because it's so much of a hassle, trying to ship your bike out there. I don't really take my game out there. I'll take it out there to watch more so TV at night, to put me to sleep. But I don't really even be on my game out there. You don't get time to, honestly.
What type of bike you shipping?
Like a motorbike, like a little not like a dirt bike or nothing like that, but like a electrical bike. I mean.
Oh,
it's
so one of them bikes like the kids be riding.
Yeah, just about. I had like a cruiser bike last year, a big cruiser bike, like an old school joint last year. But it was too much trying to, get on there and ride it after we had a long day of practice and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and get me an electric joint this year.
So where you taking the bike though?
To camp.
I know, but where you riding it at?
Oh, because where we stay at in Oxnard, it's kind of like its own, like we're on our own kind of campus type thing. Like we stay at this hotel, and so I'll be riding back and forth to there. If you in the back of the
that hotel, you can walk from the front to the back.
Man, you'll be surprised. Listen, hey, the back is far, especially after a long day.
You keep forgetting I played for the Cowboys. I was at that training camp. You lazy as hell. Man, you can literally from the training room.
I was about to say, listen.
From the training room to the front desk, man, stop.
He forgetting training camp ain't what it used to be. I got to go out there and chase Brandon Cooks all day. Listen, the players be needing the
Hold on. Did you literally just say
that we done with the 90s?
Camp, or you literally said to me, training camp is harder now than it was then?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm chasing more speed than Jens was chasing back then.
I can't even. Y'all got life fucked up. I can't even.
You don't think so? Brandon Cooks. I gotta chase Brandon Cooks all day. There's probably four. The minimum in that receiver room right now running is probably the lowest of a high 4.3.
Yeah, but see, this is where they go wrong at. Mm-hmm. You really think that dudes couldn't run in the National Football League 15 years ago? You really think that?
I didn't say that. What I'm saying is that I feel like there's more guys that just naturally run faster than a lot of guys back then. Like there might be a few guys, that you'd be like, I watch this guy. Think about it. Every week, you like just the Miami Dolphins alone, they have 6 guys that are running low 4.3, 4.2s. You tell me
that's because they wanted to build it that way. But I can name so many. You know how fast Joey Galloway? Well, I didn't have to cover none of these dudes, right? I was a dude running. But you know how fast Joey Galloway was?
Now
I watched my DBs try to chase him, and they was fast.
Now tell me 3 or 4 other guys outside of Joey Gallup that was running the same way on the same roster.
On the same roster.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say Miami. No, I would never. Miami.
No, but go ahead. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I wasn't saying guys ain't as fast back then. I'm saying
correct yourself.
Correct yourself. What I'm saying is on teams now, there's 4 or 5 guys that are running just as fast. Like it ain't just 1 or 2 guys.
But they ain't running nothing. Half them dudes ain't running anyway. They don't want to get hit. They scared. That's what you know how it is, Malik. It's different.
Yeah. I mean, it's different, but nowadays, like back in the day, Jens's practice was a lot harder. Jens hit and everything. Obviously, we're not as physical now as far as in the practice field. Like we ain't going out there and you're not going full go. It's stud for some teams possibly. So those guys have no reason to really be scared. So they're going to run as fast as they can in practice all day, regardless of what's going to happen, because they know they can't get hit.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So basketball was allegedly your favorite sport, your first sport, and you made a top 10 plays with a dunk, and even Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant, tweeted about this amazing dunk that you had in high school. What made you choose between the two?
Well, to be honest, well, as you see, I'm only 6'2" on a good day. I'm not 6'6", and the minimum in the NBA now, the point guards is 6'6", 6'5", and they're jumping out the sky too. So that kind of took my. I mean, I feel like I still could have done it. Of course, like I feel like I was still gifted enough to go out there and compete, but as a 6'2" safety,
me too.
But like, I still got the background behind it. I mean, basketball, it just came natural to me because I was raised around it. My mother was she's a real high on basketball. She was raised all around it. And then my older sisters, they pretty much set the path for me with basketball. They was the ones that was out there roughing me up on the basketball court and everything. And I just kind of fell in love with it because that was what a lot of the people from where I'm from was doing. We was playing a lot of basketball. So. But my uncle was the reason why I ended up getting into football. He was one of those guys like, man, I don't care if you want to play or not, you coming out to play. And I went out and played in middle school, and I was good and everything. And obviously I had the time to play, but I ended up getting hurt. I want to say like in the 7th grade or something. So I was like, you know what? I'm getting a good amount of recruiting for basketball, so let me try to focus on that. And decided to try to go out and get the shot again when I was in 11th grade, and it played out for me.
So what feels better to you, knocking down a dunk or a three, or getting an interception? Not that you a ball hawk or anything like that.
I ain't gonna lie, man. There's nothing like the interception. Like as happy as I was for the ESPN and everything, because I was on there for basketball a few times, and every time I seen it, like it was exciting, but. There's nothing like not even just like the publicity on ESPN or thing, but there's nothing like going in that team meeting room or that meeting room and you're watching it with your guys. You're like, damn, man, how you get off the hash and go get that and anything like that. So I'll take an interception any day of the week.
Mm-hmm. So Keyshawn, my son, I believe he was siding with Austin Rivers. So last month or so, Austin Rivers said that basketball players can play professional football, and football players cannot play professional basketball. What side are you on with this?
Well, I mean, I've seen both. I know some basketball players you'll be surprised that can probably get out there and play football, and I know some football guys that can definitely get out there and play basketball. But the difference is, are those basketball players willing to go across the middle and take a hit to the legs or a hit to the knee or anything like that? I feel like a lot of them guys is about them legs, they're a little iffy about wanting to take contact there. So that's what I feel like separates the thing. Like, yeah, you're gifted and athletic enough to go out there and do it. But when it comes down to full speed and, a linebacker that is going to knock your head off right there, are you going to catch the ball though? Like, are you going to make plays? Like, are you just going to be out there just taking up space? Basketball,
that's what I say.
Basketball, I can go out there and shoot 15 times and 2 or 3 shots is going to go in, and I can go hustle and get some rebounds, you know what I'm saying, and foul somebody.
Yeah, but you gotta do it over a 7'5" Wembanyama that's 19 and just getting better, and it's a completely different game now. I feel like
I feel that too, but I feel like basketball, like I don't want to say, because I mean obviously they work on the stuff that they do over and over again. I don't want to say you can go out there and shoot the ball backwards from however many places on the court, and eventually one of the shots are going to go in. You can't go out there in the football field and catch the ball 10 times while somebody's guarding you or somebody's hitting you and consistently do that. Like eventually you're going to be like, I ain't finna keep doing that. Basketball, I can keep shooting until I make some. That's easy.
It's probably because I played both growing up, same thing, right? But I realized, okay, I'm 6'3" and I got to guard Jason Kidd, and I got to, dudes that I went to high school with. It's just I got to Paul Pierce 6'7", man. Like that's not fair. It's just not fair. But in football, I'm 6'4", I'm 220 pounds. I'm gonna beat the shit out of a DB all day long. But when I got to go up against Shaq at 6'3", I'm in trouble 6'4", 6'3". What I would say what I would say to this argument that they have, in my time in the NFL, it may have been 4 guys that I honestly, in 11 years of me playing before I decided to retire, it may have been 4 guys in the NFL that probably could have got some minutes in the NBA.
Name drop. I need to hear it. Name drop some people. Who? Like what? Tony Gonzalez?
Randy Moss could have got some minutes. TG probably could have. Tony Gonzalez probably could have got some minutes. Julius Peppers could have got some minutes.
He was nice.
But for the most part,
he's tall. How tall is he, Julius Peppers?
Pep about 6. Pep probably was 6'6".
Yeah,
Pep was big. But Pep played at North Carolina. So but we're talking about a bruiser. We're not talking about no, we ain't talking about we ain't talking about somebody crazy with it. He got some minutes. If Randy would have focused in on basketball, Randy probably would have had a legit gripe of getting some real minutes and real buckets, things of that nature. I couldn't shoot. I could play defense. I could do everything else, but I couldn't shoot. Like you said, 2 of 15, Malik, shit, you're going to get cut. They ain't, that ain't going to get it done. And then in terms of basketball players playing football, they don't want to, like Malik was saying, man, they don't want somebody to just blow on them. They go, they can't handle football.
I could see like a John Wall or Russ playing football, but other than like an explosive guard, but other than that,
explosive to Malik Hooker, hit him in his damn mouth.
But that's what I'm saying. Like when you put in that perspective, like you got to think of, they already naturally don't like nobody around their legs. So what do you think as this football players, like tight ends, bigger guys that you see as a DB, like a tight end that's 6'7", 6'6", like we're not looking to hit you in the chest.
Yeah, no, you're going straight for the legs, bro.
And once you get hit in the legs the one time and you see what that feels like when you get that deep thigh bruise or whatever it's going to be, are you going to catch it again? Not, then that's when them hands start going out and they're putting them back. So, but I can go out there and I can miss a couple jumpers and hustle and play defense. Regardless of you see what I'm saying? So it depends on, but I also got to put in the factor too, like, are we adding, because I feel like when these conversations come up, you got to put in the perspective of too, like they're 6'7", 6'8". Are you knocking them down to what our average height is in the NFL? Like, or how do you want to go about the conversation? Like, so I just, in that conversation, man, like I said, I'm biased about it because I feel like there's definitely guys, because I know like in the NFL right now, I feel like Mo Alley Cox can get out there and play some good minutes in the NBA. Mo Alley Cox specifically. I feel like there's a couple other guys too that I feel like is real good. I mean, you just saying that I don't know about going out there and being like dominant or anything, but Jalen Ramsey, you just seeing him on the basketball court, he was effortlessly just dribbling and going and dunking and doing that. Like that's what they do. Like we live to jump high and run fast. That's what basketball is, other than obviously tightening up the skills and the gift of making the shots over and over again. Like, okay, that part of it, but we can go out there and just run fast and jump high and make some noise.
No, I played a lot in the off season with all them dudes. We all get run. I ran with a lot of them in the off season at UCLA. I would get run with Hall of Fame All-Star dudes, and I consider myself a pretty good damn athlete. at the end of the day, it's all good. You can cop out and say, "Hey, man, they." But I promise you.
They wouldn't put the pads on. It's all good.
I promise you that. They're not gonna do what me and Malik Hooker doing. 100% they not. It's different.
It's funny because I remember back in college, man, I used to go to the JO South and everything at Ohio State, and guys like D'Angelo Russell, Tate, Jason Tate, them guys would be there playing. And they wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? And I hope they hear this. Like, it wasn't like they was out there and they was just scoring anytime they wanted to. Like, guys like me, at this time, I want to say Rashad Berry. I don't know what he does anymore. Gary Conley, who he just picked up here in Dallas. Like, we was out there holding on against those guys. Like, So, I don't know. I'm biased about this conversation, man. I'm biased about it.
So, hey, where's Newcastle High School at? What part of PA?
It's like, all right, so it's hard to explain because like we're like right on the borderline of like Youngstown, Ohio, but then we're like 45 minutes from Pittsburgh. So we're right in between
so you're on that side.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Like,
and
go ahead.
so is that like an area where the Darrell Revis
Yeah,
is that
Revis.
so?
He's from like the actual city. Like he's from the actual city. Like Quip, I count that as being like the actual city because they not that far from like downtown Pittsburgh and whatnot.
But
But
y'all had you got several professional athletes like Geno Stone and
mm-hmm.
Bruce Clark, all them. So
Yeah,
is that the strength of the PA? Is it old closer to the Philadelphia side?
I don't know, man, because our part of PA, like we have guys that's out there. Like we even got a lot of guys, Drayvon Henry. There's a lot of guys that's out there that played and have the capability of playing in the league. But it's just like Philadelphia, it's a bigger city. Obviously, it got all the surrounding cities around it, the DMV area just in general. So I feel like it just seems like they have more talent because they have other bigger cities and stuff like that that's around it. Like Pittsburgh, it's just Pittsburgh, but there might be two guys from Aliquippa that's good, another guy from West. So, but like I said, in Philadelphia, they just got more around them to seem like it's a lot better. But no, I feel like we up there too with the talent. I feel like we obviously perform and we go out there and we put out some of the better talents as PA as well. Like you said, we had Revis. I want to say we had Russell Shell back in my day. I'm gonna go off the guys that I know like from back in my day. I ain't gonna go back in the old days.
Is Aaron Donald from that
Aaron
area?
Donald? Yeah, I was about to say Aaron Donald. Who else? I can go down the line. Like I said, Drayvon Henry used to play in the NFL. Damar Hamlin's from that area. Marcus Allen used to play. I mean, not Marcus Allen, but I forget what his name, Marcus something else, but he used to play. There's a couple of us out there that, it's just so small there and not too many guys really make it to the professional level from that area that when, one or two guys make it in the same class or whatever the case may be, it seems like a bigger deal because there's only very few of us that's capable of making it to the next level and being able to perform at a high level and make some noise. So that's why it seems like there's not so many, but we putting them out there though.
They it's like being from here in LA. We put them out. You know what I'm saying? We hold our own. There's no question about it or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of just the way it's been in our careers or whatnot. What was it like? What was it like playing with my nephew?
Which
MT?
one, Mike?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my dog. That's my dog, man. I love Mike, man. Because it's funny when I first got to O State, I was redshirted my first year. And just how much of a dog he was, like I liked him. Like a lot of people thought he was arrogant or whatever the case may be, but from the teams that I've been on, that been real good. Like you got to have that guy on the team that's like that. Like that's what drives the heart of the team. Like if you don't got dogs on your team, I feel like it's hard to be able to succeed in the playoffs. Whether it be the collegiate level or even an NFL level. Like if you don't got them guys like that it's gonna make a play and let whoever they playing against know, like I'm here. I'm here to compete today, and you have a long day. Then, I mean, what are we really competing for? That's what we want. That's what guys like us in the league. That's what we thought of. Was you one of them guys back then?
Who?
Now that yeah, I'm saying because that's your
me and my son. Who you talking about? Me and my son.
I'm talking about you. You acting like Mike too.
Hey, as they say, all you gotta do is Google me. I don't even need to. Hey, look, I don't even need to say nothing. Just Google me.
I'm talking about in practice because Mike, like the funny thing is like Mike, he'll get out there, he'll perform like that on Sundays, and people think like that's just how he acts on Sunday because that's when the cameras and stuff on. Nah, man, that first year I seen him.
No, yeah, I've heard people say a bunch of times like every snap to him in practice or whatever is like a Super Bowl snap. Yeah, so I've heard that from multiple people.
You know what?
So.
You know what though? I'm gonna keep it. Ain't that what y'all say nowadays? I'm gonna keep it 100. Facts, no lies, no all of those shit.
All facts.
So, all facts, no cap, all that. I'm gonna just be honest with you. When you talk about practice, I didn't really need to do all that because I was much better than anybody on the field. So wasn't even. I was gonna beat you regardless. If we went up five times on something, I probably was gonna cook you 3 to 4 times. You see what I'm saying? That's just the reality of it. And then if they wanted to run the football towards you, I was getting ready to take you to the water buckets. And then if you come down hill in the box and I had to crack replace, you was in trouble. So for me, everything just became natural and easy, Malik. Like I tell people, they say, oh, this, that, and the other. I say, man, to be honest with you, I never chased the yellow jacket. That wasn't my goal. I grew up in South Central Los Angeles. You see what I'm saying? I was poor. My family was poor. My mission was to get the bag. My mission wasn't to chase no motherfucking gold jacket. That's cool. The ones that got gold jackets, cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But my goal was to get the money. I wasn't getting ready to play professional football till I couldn't walk no more. I wanted to be up here talking that talk, doing other things in life. So, no, when it came to practice, though, if you irritated me, I was just you was gonna fuck around and damn near be on the waiver wire because I was gonna embarrass you so much that it was gonna be one of them situations where it was just gonna get ugly. You know, even in games. You know, even in games, I played 11 years and I think I had 17, 18 different quarterbacks. Never started the same year with the same quarterback that started the season, ended the season. Never. So I always tell people, I say, man, imagine if I had the same dude for 4 straight years.
Yeah.
Imagine what that shit would look like.
Well, speaking of quarterbacks, Malik, so in 2015, you guys win the first college football playoffs. People call it, the best. Well, some people call it the best team assembled. You guys had people like Joey Bosa, Ezekiel Elliott, my cousin Mikey, Devin Smith, and then you had JT, Cardell, and Braxton Miller. What was that like, having that QB carousel due to injury and then just still being able to win the championship?
Man, it was special for real, man, because it was like, we had all these guys, obviously going into that year, the Braxton, we had, JT and Cardell back there. We had Zeke in the backfield, and then we had this good receiver core. Nobody really knew what we was capable of because we were still trying to find our own way. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, Braxton, he had just came back, and then he ended up having a shoulder injury. Like, that was a big hit for us because, Braxton just – the name Braxton in Columbus, Ohio, that rings bells. And, just to have him on your team, like he was one of those guys that you felt comfortable and you knew he was going to make a special play on Saturdays when we was playing. So it was like once I want to say we lost to, it might have been Michigan State because I was redshirted that year and I got to see a lot of it from a different lens, So once we had lost out Michigan State, those guys, like, how, it might sound cliche, but the typical, we had the defense, the team meeting. And when we got in there, like, you literally seen every one of those guys, like the top guys, not guys that, are just, a part of the group, like the top dogs, Mike, like you said, Mike, Joey Bosa, Taylor Decker at the time, all those guys, they dedicated their time and their mind, body, and literally everything that they had to being able to reach that next level that we did in that year. And it was special, man, because not even just the on-the-field stuff, like the brotherhood that those guys had off the field, man. A lot of those guys, Braxton, I know Braxton and Mike, they was hanging out a good amount of time back then. Zeke and I want to say Bosa and them, like all those guys was clicked up, and it wasn't like it was an offense and defense thing because, once you get to the league, it tends to get separated. You hang with your defensive guys and you hang with your offensive guys. So I feel like just the camaraderie that they built, being able to hang all with each other, being from offense, defense, and even some of the special team guys, because I was one of the special team at that time. I was one of the special team guys. So just being able to all hang out together and kind of make, that commitment to each other, like, man, we're going to get this done. Like, we had a little slump in this road, but we still going to get to where we're going to get based off of us dedicating our time to that 1%, that small things. Like, that's why I love Mike, because Mike, he really believed in the small things. Like, man, it was crazy because he used to dedicate everything. Like, he's one of those guys that I say he's a football junkie. Like, he just loves football. Like, even if the money was there, like, the money's great. Even if the money was there, like, he could sit there, he could play football all day, he could talk football all day because that's what he loves to do. So that's what made us so special that year. And it was a special year for me because I got to learn a lot.
I always thought you guys should have two-peated. You guys should have went back-to-back.
Yeah, man. Like, that year was special, man, just to be a part of it. And honestly, like, that's what molded my next step in my journey. Because, like I said, I was redshirted that year. When you're young and you feel like you're one of the guys that's able to play, you're like, man, why ain't able to get out there and get some rec? Yeah. And watching those guys, I wasn't ready because I didn't know how to dedicate myself at that point. Because, like I said, I was still transitioning from playing basketball. So there was a lot of stuff I had to learn as far as, the film study, the putting the time in on the field, whether it be just mobility and stuff like that. Like, I had to learn that through those guys. So it was special for me, and that's kind of what molded me into my junior year, I want to say, to being what I was that year.
Yeah, no, you was a pick machine. You did your thing. You did your thing back there and to the point where To the point in 2017, the Indianapolis Colts said we're gonna take him at the 15th slot in the draft, 15th overall pick. What was that moment? What was that moment like for you?
I mean, honestly, like I mean, you know, like you said, like I came from nothing. Like my mother, I was raised by a single mother household, and honestly, like I never had the mindset like, man, I want to go and I want to be top 10 or I want to be 15th pick. Like at that point, I just wanted to be on the board, you know, because I was like,
yeah,
man, I put the work in, you know, I've done the work that I needed to be able to be in this position. So all I wanted to do was get called off the board. So when the stocks came out and all that, and they're like, top 10. I'm like, okay, like I still wasn't really understanding how big of a moment it was for me. Because like I said, me and my family, we was a basketball family. Like me and my mom went through that whole process, me and her learning the same way anybody else brand new would be learning. So it was just that much special. And then, like I said, coming from back home, like my home city, you can probably get to every side of town in probably like 30 minutes. Like legit.
It was straight country then.
Yeah, just about me. Like a lot of people will probably say that, like it's country, like it's a small town. Like, yeah, you might as well say that. You might as well
to
say
us,
that.
it's probably country.
So like that was what was so special about it for me because I never expected that. Like I never knew what the future hold, but I knew based off of how I was, you know, I'll say preparing myself for whatever was to come that I was going to be in a good position, regardless of if I was the top 10 pick, the 15th pick, or even if I wasn't undrafted at all. Like I knew whatever team that was going to take me, whether it be as a free agent, that I was going to go there and I was going to prove my worth. And I just looked at it as that. Like I didn't care about walking on the big stage because even on the day, I didn't even go to the draft.
Did you cry though? Did you cry?
No, honestly, I didn't. Honestly, I didn't because, like I said, that wasn't the end of what I wanted to accomplish. Like, you know,
did you
drop a lot of guys,
any tears, anything? Come on, man.
No,
you had to share a tear.
No, man, because I had the mindset because like I said, I was still learning ball. I was still learning football. Yeah. So I had the mindset like, all right, like this is another journey. Like this is like me coming to college all over again. Like I gotta restudy the game all over again. I gotta make sure I learn formations a certain way and being able to speak the same language and these professional rooms. Cause you know, you can get in the college room and you know, your college kids, like everybody's gonna speak the same. But when you get in that, like my first year when I got in the room with Darius Butler and Devontae, there was so much stuff that they were saying there just as a professional verbiage that I was like, whoa, like what does that mean? And they had to break it down to me. So I just had the mindset that, man, it's like going to college all over again. I got to, you know, put my thinking cap on, be like I was in the classroom and stuff like that. So it wasn't, of course, it was an emotional moment, like, you know, but I didn't get to cry about it. Like, I was more so like, man, let me get this Playboy. Like, it's funny because you ask Chris Ballard to this day. So this day drafted me, I got on the phone with him. I was like, can I get my iPad so I can start studying before I get out there? Because it was like I was just so ready to be able to mentally digest a lot of football at that point because I still had a long ways to go to be the player that I wanted to be and the player that I felt like I was capable of being, especially after that last year. Like I had very high expectations for myself.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about no damn playbook when I got drafted. I was trying to get to the party. But anyway. So now you get new defensive coordinator in Mike Zimmer. You know, he sat out of coaching ball for a couple years, and he was the head coach in Minnesota, was previously the defensive coordinator in Dallas. Now he's back for a second tenure as the DC. How much you think a difference he'll make compared to what Dan Quinn was calling on defense?
I wouldn't necessarily say how much of a difference because that they will be calling because I mean we are what we are. Like we were successful in the defense we played in. You know what I'm saying? Like we had great success and we had some downfalls in the defense. So them as coaches, I feel like especially with the team we got, their job ain't to go and you know bring a whole new XYZ or whole new system. Like he pretty much just made it easier to the point of he's nothing less than demanding of what he wants done on the field. Like, and I feel like, I'm not saying Dan Quinn didn't do that either because DQ, like, I love DQ. Like, we still talk to this day, man. He's one of the guys that he's a big reason why I'm here in Dallas still and why I got to Dallas.
Yeah. But
there's a certain way that you got to coach certain guys. You know, different guys are being able to coach a certain way. And I feel like because of how player-oriented DQ was, like, guys will relate to him and he wouldn't have to coach a certain way that, you know, Zim does now. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, you heard all the story. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, is Zim still quiet as a church mouse, or does he say anything? Or because he really never, man, he like, when he was my DC, quiet as a church mouse, don't say nothing. Just kind of, approach it differently.
Yeah. And he comes in there because, we're like in these first couple phases, like OTAs and whatnot, we'll have meetings and he'll come in there, he'll talk at the beginning of the meeting. And then you won't see him again, but he'll come in the meeting room while you're in there and you're with your position coach or whatever, just to check things out. He really won't say anything then. But on the field, yeah, you're going to get coached. He's going to talk to you on that field. Like whether you a safety, whether you're a linebacker, whatever the case may be, he's going to come down and he's going to coach you off. So I think that's what I love about him, as well as, like I said, him and DQ are different. He's more like he going to give you a couple chances to mess up, but if you keep messing up, you can't get it right, I'm going to get somebody else in there. To whereas DQ was more player oriented, to if something couldn't get done right or we kept messing up on something, he would just try to, I guess, level it down to make it easier for everybody to be able to still go out there and do what they was going to do, but it just wouldn't be what he was asking for in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the difference for him. And I feel like even these past couple of weeks of having this new system and going out there OTAs and doing everything we've been doing, like you can tell the difference of, I would say, discipline that we're going to be this year. Like it's like if you watched a lot of our games, like a lot of the big games we lost, I mean, yeah, there were plays made, but a lot of the times we were shooting ourselves in the foot, jumping off sides and giving team another fresh set of first downs, or
I watched every game. You ain't talking about if I watched. I watched every game. Trust me. I watched them all. Every play. I can tell you everything that went on.
Yeah, and it's funny. I'm actually glad that we're able to talk about it because ball, and like a lot of people get out there and they think because of a big run and somebody missed the tackle, the plays on somebody that misses the tackle, but they be forgetting that football is 11-man game. So if one guy ain't in their gap correctly or holding their gap correctly, it makes everybody else look bad. And that's the part that I feel like we're nailing down on, and we're going to take a bigger step in this year as far as just discipline. Like once we even nail that down and guys being able to be disciplined down the stretch or in the playoffs or even in, special moments like 2-minute moments and stuff like that, like I feel like we're going to be even a better defense. And hopefully, I can't really speak on the offensive side because I haven't really been with the offensive. No, I'm saying like I haven't been with the offense.
I ain't trying to get you in trouble. No. But look, check this out though. So you're a veteran now, whatnot. How you feel? And be honest with me though. And I ain't trying to get you in trouble. I really don't care. But I gotta ask you this question: How you feel about Micah having a podcast during the season? How you feel about that?
Honestly, man, like, and this is me. Like, I'm one of those guys. Like, I'm not into that type of stuff. Some guys it works for. Like you see the Jason Kelce's and guys like that who are successful with the podcast as well as performing on the field and having success with it. So I don't have a problem with it. I feel like a lot of these guys, though, they just get on there sometimes and they start falling into the part of, just saying stuff to, for the clicks and, having people to come view and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't have no problem with it. My thing would be, though, for Micah, my advice would be for Micah would be, just make sure we're all right, where we're and being where your feet are. Because if we're at work and, the run game's terrible, but you're doing a podcast every week and, the run game is terrible, then, what are you really caring about? Are you caring about the crowd that, is watching your podcast? Are you caring about the success of our team in the Super Bowl that we're trying to reach? See what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, but also, a lot of people got to remember Micah's young. He's still trying to find his way. He's still trying to grow into who he's trying to be. So I give him grace, honestly. Like, I always hear people say stuff that he done said on the podcast or something silly he done said. But people got to remember, like, Micah's still a big kid. Micah's still a big kid. And, you can't fault a big kid for, trying to expand as well as experiencing still stuff that they ain't really been through. Because Mike only been in the league 4 years. Like, they're still experiencing stuff that he been through. He ain't never been through real adversity yet in the league. Like, he ain't seen that yet, So I feel like over time and over these next couple years of experiencing adversity that he hits, like, you'll see him start to change in how he approaches stuff like that, like the podcast and stuff like that. But like I said, it don't bother me, my guy. I honestly, like I said, I'm one of those guys, man. I focus on my play. If I feel like it's affecting my play and our play as a defense or as a team, then I'll have something to say. But I really don't really pay that much attention to it. I don't know, honestly. And even like, because what is it on Twitter or whatever he has? I don't
It's
even know
on
what it's.
social media or whatever, I guess.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's on Twitter or whatever the case. I think I'll be back then because I don't got a Twitter now. I lost my Twitter, but I think it was on Twitter. I was seeing it more so back then that it was popping up on there. But man, it just depends, man. You know, people's gonna have something to say about it, good or bad.
Oh,
Either
for
way.
sure. Yeah, for sure. 100%. You
Mhm.
definitely, it's always an issue.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, like I said, it's also about how he approaches it. Like I feel like just certain stuff, like there's just character and value that with certain stuff you just shouldn't say. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get backlash behind saying this. And I mean, I'm not saying he does or he doesn't. I don't know. I don't watch his podcast. But if he does, if he is doing it, he knows he's saying stuff that he's
Yeah.
getting backlash for. They're saying bad things about, man. You should really look at what they're saying. Like you gotta be real with yourself. Are you saying stuff just for clicks? Are you saying the truth? Are you saying stuff that is really happening in the office or at work, or are you just saying stuff because you want to feel like ball, or you want the crowd to come watch? I don't know.
What you
So
like? So go ahead, Keyshawn.
I was just gonna say, so I'm kind of like a betting guy, and the Eagles are the favorites to win the NFC East. Do you have anything to say about that?
Man, listen, I don't know, man. Like hey, they can say what they want, but if you look at if you check the scoreboard for the last, I've been here since 2020. Since I've been here, I know the first year we got here, we swept them. We swept them the whole year. 0-4, we whooped them every time. I mean, 0-2, we whooped them every time. The second year, I think we went 1-1, I think, and then last year we split 1-1 too. So it's like, I mean, I don't know who keeps putting these favorites out, but I mean, we showing up every time they put the
Man, they
favorites.
went to the Super Bowl though. Malik, stop.
They did, and my thing be with that because people will say that like they made it farther than the playoffs. Like, okay, well, at the end of the day, they still came up the same way we did.
Yeah, but come on now. You want that, you want
Yeah.
that, you want that, you want to get to that Super Bowl, man. Stop
Yeah,
that, man. This us you talking
You
to.
want to win that Super
you
Bowl, though.
you
I already
definitely
know what
want
you're
to
saying.
get there, but do you want to get there and just get there, or do you want to get
Yeah.
there
Man,
like
you
they
want to
got there
get
and just
there.
got there?
Yeah, but here's what I would say. They
Mm-hmm.
got there with a better chance to win than y'all. Because y'all
Yeah,
couldn't even get there to
you're
even
right.
have
You're
a
right.
chance to win.
Be right. I definitely agree with you. And that be the reason why when people get to going, because first off, I get a lot of rap just because I'm from PA, about the stuff. So I can't say nothing about it. Like I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not one of those guys that's ego haters. Like I'm from PA. I can't be that. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to be
When,
honest. Like they was just more the disciplined team these last couple years when it came down to crucial moments. Like whether it be certain plays guys made, like guys step up and make the plays when they're supposed to. Like their dogs step up and make plays when they're supposed to. I feel like in a lot of games, and I'm not singling nobody out, but myself included, like when it comes down to when we're in them 2-minute drives, like when we played them, I want to say last year, we played them at Philly, and we needed to play from the defense, and we folded. Like I
yeah,
hold myself to.
you can't have your quarterback stepping out of bounds at the end either.
Oh, see, man, listen, that I can't control
Now
the.
you don't respond to that. Let me take the heat on that one. All I'm saying is, you gotta somehow figure out how to get it. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta figure out how to do it that way.
Yeah, honestly, like that, I feel like that's the next step for us as a team too. Like our leaders, because we pretty much know who our leaders is of the team. Like whether they be vocally out there, because there's guys, that's vocal guys, and there's guys who's not. Like they held me to the standard of I'm the leader of the defense too, one of the guys, and I'm not really a vocal guy unless I have to be. Like I'm more of a I'm gonna show you how I do it. Like I go out here and I work, but it's like when guys like me, guys like D Law, when we get taking them crunch moments and we need to play and we need to stop, it's more so we need to demand it. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes guys, we go out there and we'll make a play, but it can't just be the same person. Like we got a lot of dogs on our defense, like a lot of guys that got high talent and stuff like that. And when it comes down to those moments, like I said, guys just got to dig within themselves and we just got to find that way to make that play. And I feel like that's what we're feeling at right now. Like I feel like
Yeah.
we're undisciplined in those moments. I feel like when we need our guys to step up, myself included, in those big moments, we be there, but we don't be those guys that like we know we're gonna make a play. Like back in your day, you see guys like
Man, will you stop? First of all, You gotta stop talking about back in my day. Like I'm fucking 1,000 years old or something. You gotta stop that. I wear the same. You probably wearing shoulder pads that I wore in that damn locker room. What's the hell wrong with you?
I say that because with football wise, like on the football field, y'all's era and our era is totally different. Like that's why I gotta say back in y'all's day.
It's the same thing.
Oh man, y'all was a lot more rigid back then, man.
No. Yeah, we were more rigid, but it's the same damn plays. It's the same thing. You being coached by some of the same people. It's the same thing.
Y'all's just style of ball was way different than ours, so that's why
I was coached by Zim. Zim was my DC. You got Zim as a DC. Same thing.
Yeah, but y'all was able to get y'all's head knocked off and not get fined for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when I say it like that, like back in y'all's day, I'm separated from like the aspect of how it was played, the hard hit, the stuff. Like our stuff now, like it's cool, but it's like a lot of this, man, we might as well play flag football.
It's crazy. They be fining like crazy.
Yeah, but you're not out on the field. You're not out on the field. First of all, the adjustment has already been made in your game. You came into the league in 2017. So it's not like you haven't been used to flag football. You used to flag football. That's why the dudes that's used to flag football probably couldn't play aggressively when we was playing the same, because it's just not, receivers that play. I have a conversation with receivers all day long. Even my son play receiver. I tell them all day long, man, y'all couldn't play with us. Stop that shit, man. You think you're talking to? You would have been scared to catch a slant knowing that Malik Hooker is buzzing down and the corner is forcing you to the inside while the linebacker is running to the flat. You're not trying to catch that ball.
Even like how the linebackers played back then. Like if you as a receiver back then, if you was running an under route, you had to watch them knock you off your feet.
This crazy though. And I'm gonna ask you a couple questions about some of the staff. So my rookie year, Malik, I caught a hitch. So I catch a hitch, and in college, I could turn around, face you up, and I'm gone. I'm just and I'm gonna put the foot in the ground out of here. Because in college, everybody watching you, they looking at Keyshawn, they going, ooh, this motherfucker good. Let's watch it. The defensive players, they're not chasing you. Man, we played against LeVon Kirkland. I caught a slant and hit. I went to the outside, and they forced me back inside with him scraping, cracked my sternum.
Ooh, yeah.
That was 270-pound middle linebacker with full force. I never made that mistake again. Never made it again, because it was totally different.
Yeah, so like even that part of it, like that's why you think a lot of these receivers now they're doing all that back juking all the way back crossfield and stuff now, because they know if they hit the wrong way, it's going to be a 50-yard penalty and they get the first down regardless. Like they capable of doing that now, so that's why I like separating the areas, because man, I got high regards for how y'all played back then. Like the linebackers, man, being able to do that, hitting them and nudging them when they're running the under routes and stuff like that. Like that makes a difference. Like that cuts off a lot of the route tree just off of somebody doing that. Like you have to look and you'll be like, I'm not gonna run that route. Like so,
man,
I feel like that's the difference. I feel like that's the difference. Like a lot, but the way they're putting the game now, like they're opening up so much more, because it's like the defensive guys, we can only do so much on defense. Like if a quarterback throws you a slant to the ground and I'm going to pick it and I accidentally hit you in the head or something like that, it's a flag. But that's not my fault. Your quarterback shouldn't have threw the ball like that, or whatever the case may be. Like that's your fault. So I feel like that's why I like kind of separating stuff, because I liked how it was back then. Because I know if it was like that now, like the way our defense is set up, how it's running and hitting and stuff like that, like we'll be even a little bit more dominant.
So Malik, when you looked at the Dallas Cowboys, when you first decided, okay, I'm gonna come over to Dallas, did you think it was gonna be this, I don't know, this exciting historical franchise, or did you look at it like Dalton Schultz said, like a zoo? Because Dalton Schultz called it a zoo last year. All the chaotic stuff that goes on with the owner and Jerry Jones, and now you got Coach McCarthy talking about he's getting sick and tired of Jerry running his mouth. Did you look at did you say, oh man, I'm getting ready to go into a mess?
Nah, man, because I remember I was coming off an injury, so for my process, I was just like, man, who wants me? I'm damn as good as, you know what I'm saying? Who wants me? And whatever team wants me, I'm willing to go there, and I'm going to show them I'm still the player that I was. And when Dallas had called me, like, Honestly, brother, I've never been to Texas. I didn't know what to expect coming down here. And you hear all the stories, and you obviously on ESPN and all the stuff that they say about Dallas and all that. But I'm
Hey
always
man, I ain't on ESPN. I'm on Fox Sports One.
no.
Man, what's wrong with you?
I'm saying in general, like you see it on ESPN all the time. How the Dallas Cowboys, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, man, I really didn't care about that. I'm like, I'm just going there, as a job, like whether it's a circus or whatever the case may be. Like that's not nothing concerning me. My job is to go in here, play football, lift weights, and then go home.
Is
Like
it a circus though at times? Do you think it's a circus at times? Be honest with me though, because when I played there, I thought at times it could have been a little bit of a, it's not a circus, but it's unnecessary extra fire, for people to criticize.
I mean, for some people, I honestly like it though. Me personally, because I'm like, if you performing, you doing what you're supposed to do, you only gonna get brought up higher with it. Like the people are gonna love you more. So I don't look at it as that because I'm not no guy that a knucklehead and off the field or anything like that. I don't involve myself in stuff like that. So I looked at it as an opportunity that I can only make my brand better and like you said, be playing under the historics of the Dallas Cowboys because obviously like you hear these teams like I said, I'm from Pittsburgh, so when Mike T, they had brought me and talked to me, but he already pretty much told me like that he probably wasn't gonna get me. He just was bringing me in and chopping it up about life, and just being able to go in there and sit in front of him and knowing the historics and the stuff that the Steelers done as an organization and being able to be even thought of in that way, like you're able to come here and play. Like I just looked at it as it was a blessing, so I didn't care about the circus or whatever Dallas going on. I'm like, I'm coming to play for the Dallas Cowboys that everybody talks about. So it's a blessing for me. I don't give a damn about the circus stuff.
I know we got to let you run, but I'm going to ask you this last question. And don't be giving me no bullshit. I don't talk about people's money and all that. Who should they pay first, man? Who should they pay? You got 3-4 dudes out there. You got Zach Martin. You got CeeDee Lamb. You got Micah Parsons. You got Dak Prescott. Who should they address like right before training camp? All of them should get their money, but who should go first?
Okay, so all of them should get their money thing. Well, I'm gonna just go ahead and say this now. Micah should be. Micah, he shouldn't be yet. I wouldn't put Micah yet. I feel like we still got a lot to prove. Micah still has a lot to prove. Like he's done a great job his first couple years in the league. Don't get me wrong. He's a fantastic player, but I feel like Micah still has a surface that he don't even know that he can scratch as far as what he's doing. So I would say Micah. I would say Micah's last, just for that reason. And I'll probably say Zach Martin would be after Micah for the simple fact of like Zach, he's done what he's done in the league, and he is who he is. Like he's gonna be there. I would probably say CeeDee first. Let me just go there. I'll probably say CeeDee.
Receivers gotta get paid for sure.
I would say CeeDee, and then I mean you got to look at what's going on around the league right now. Like all these big time receivers are getting paid, and in my mind, like CeeDee. I'm not saying he's better than these guys, but I feel like he has shown up in certain situations more than these guys have, in my personal opinion. I just feel like he does. Like, you got to think of all the backlash the Dallas Cowboys get all day. There might be a game where, just not his fault. He might not get the ball thrown as much to him. But even when he does get the ball thrown to him, it's always a big play. It's always something that's electrifying for us as a team. But then you look at these teams like no disrespect to Justin Jefferson because he's a great player too. He's in Minnesota and, they're not having a winning record. So I like putting the record and stuff in this too. So I feel like CeeDee should be paid first for the simple fact of what he does for us, how valuable he is for us, the leader he is for us as a team. Like CeeDee's one of those guys, like if he's playing that game and he's lining up, it's going to be a long game for Everett Gardner, regardless of what we got going on, whether the offense is intact or not. He's going to go out there and he's going to make somebody be aware of what he's doing.
So you go CeeDee. So you'll go CeeDee 1.
I'll go CeeDee 1. You can interchange Zach and Dak at 2 for other reasons. You can interchange both of them, I feel like. And then, like I said,
you rather pay an offensive lineman than the quarterback.
Yeah, I feel like because of the simple fact of when Zach Martin ain't out there, you see how it is for him. Like it's rough because not only just for his performance, that confidence for guys around him. Zach Martin gives a lot of those offensive guys confidence to go out there and be able to perform how they do. Little do a lot of people know, like, yeah, they're great, but when Zach Martin's out there, it's a different type of confidence. Like, I know he's going to do a job. I know he's going to do everything to a T to make sure that he's protecting Dak. And I'm not saying other guys isn't. I'm not saying that, but I just feel like guys like that, Zach Martin, those guys like you, man. Once you got those guys and you know you line up with them guys, man, that's a dog like that. Like, it gives you that much more confidence. Even me as a defensive player, like, I love lining up and we about to come out the tunnel and I see Zach Martin right there because I know it's going to be a long day for whoever's across from him. I'm not saying like he's going to go out there and he's going to be, the reason why we win or lose the game, but he's going to be a big reason to why a lot of the good happens. I'll tell you that. Like, whether it be a broken play, he saves a lot of broken plays just off of the knowledge, and that's why I say him and Dak too, because I feel like Dak doesn't get enough credit for what he does too, because Dak is a good reason to why the offense is successful, not just because he throws the ball, the way Dak studies, because Dak is very smart. A lot of the stuff Dak does is because of how he studies. Like, yeah, he's gifted and stuff, but Dak's a very smart player. The way he goes about his business, like, Dak doesn't bother nobody, and just the stuff that he's been through as a leader, losing his mom and, his brother and stuff like that, and still being able to come out there and lead these guys as you're going through these trials and tribulations and stuff like that. Like, that's a hard thing to do. I can honestly speak for myself. Like, I've dealt with, being in the league and having to go out there and play with a deaf and stuff like that. And you don't feel your best. You really don't even feel like playing. So as a quarterback, you got no choice. You got no choice. And he's going out there and doing it at a high level, So I got high praise for Dak too. But I say CeeDee. I put probably Dak second. I'll put Zach. And then Micah got weight, man. You still young dog, man.
No, I fuck with Dak though. I like Dak. A lot of people don't like him. Me, he's one of my top 5-6 quarterbacks in the league. I don't give a damn what nobody say, because I played with 18 different QBs, so I know what they look like. You can't fool me and you can't give me a bunch of pump fake. I know what it is. So I know how hard the position is.
Do you think CeeDee is a top 5 receiver then? If you think that, yeah,
100%.
Yeah, bro. I was about to say, yeah.
Man, Keyshawn, you played with me. I coached you in 7-on-7. I can put you in any position to make plays. Yeah. And I can get you 90 catches tomorrow if I wanted to. That's easy. Some dudes in the league, they scheme them to get open. They ain't just beating dudes. They scheming them to get open.
I'm already
picking and they rubbing and they doing all type of trick, eye candy. They ain't just lining up on the outside edge of the numbers and whooping your ass. They make it sound like they are, but that ain't really the case.
Yeah,
If I motion you across the formation and stack you behind somebody and Malik is coming over, and then I give you a 2-way go to come back underneath, and he think you run into the flat while the dude pick you off, and he run wide open going back across the goddamn field in man-to-man coverage, and you beat him.
Not on the corner,
It ain't on Malik. It's the scheme.
Exactly. It's literally just what it is,
I can turn you into anything I want to, trust me.
Hey, I'm glad you just said that, because that separates the conversation that we was talking about earlier about, the top 5 receivers and stuff like that. Like, pay attention to a lot of the guys that, even with the stats, like, they're performing. Pay attention to a lot of the guys where they're lining up at, how they're running their routes and stuff like that. Like, a lot of these guys ain't playing in the slot. A lot of these guys ain't playing outside, getting one-on-one coverage and winning their matchup. They're either catching the screen and running for yards after catch. They're, stuff like a double reverse and stuff like that. If you watch CeeDee Lamb every week, he's lining up at every position. And
every position.
That's what I have noticed. He's a slot guy, outside X, Y, Z.
Yeah, he got to play. He play everything. Play everything. That's why I like him. Hey, man, I know you got to run, Malik, and we're going to get you out of here. I appreciate you for joining us on All Facts, No Breaks, man. You more than welcome to come on anytime. Obviously, we're going to reach back out to you when the season starts, when you get about 6 picks in about 7 games. So
Jerry's World, man, we got to pull up.
Oh, no, man, I appreciate y'all for having me on here. Like I said, I've always been a big fan. I remember when you came to Ohio State, too, on the visit and everything. We always out there. So, man, I've always been a fan of you guys. So I appreciate y'all for having me on here today, brother.
See, we got fanboys, Keyshawn. See, told you.
Yeah, man.
I'm a fan of him, man.
I'm messing with you, man. All right, thanks a lot, Malik.
All right, bro. Love, brother. See you guys later.
That's a wrap for today's show. Thanks to Malik Hooker for joining the show. And don't forget to subscribe to the All Facts, No Breaks podcast wherever you receive your podcast, YouTube in particular.